And this great big husky gentleman over here, Mr. Harper, with William and Mary many years ago, was one of the original 62nd men. I don't know what his timing is today. We've all Mr. Archbell was one of the great broad jumpers of all time for you. Somebody got a bang out of that one, too. Yeah, you go out with them, you'll get a runner in your stocking, that's for sure. And of course, the skinny one over at the end there, Brother Jordan, is one of the great swimmers here. And if you ladies interested in a backflip, I'm sure he'll be very happy to go into it with you. Better known for his breaststroke and butterfly, if I'm not mistaken. They're both the same, you just a little more, jump a little more on the one than you do on the other, you know. Did you know Mr. Jordan had the record for the underwater swim? Did you know that? He all the way from Virginia Beach to wherever the hell he is today. Mr. McKay over here, one of our big department store executives, gentleman who had a real Horatio Alger story in the business, started in ladies' underwear right at the bottom. And he's really worked his way up, too, I tell you. He was in Braziers for a while. Income tax trouble, Mr. Tolson got caught falsifying his returns. Went flat busted, but he... First man to introduce the Irish Brazier to the South, Aaron Gobra. You may have heard of it, Mr. Lee. Nice to have you aboard. And also from Washington, too, Mr. Hirschberg. Another gentleman in the clothing field, I understand one of the most generous. He gave his secretary a dress for her first week's salary. Second week, he raised her salary. Wasn't that nice? Aren't many like that anymore, you know. All our real estate, gee, we're loaded with realtors in here tonight, sitting right in the front. We got half of the room, real estate men. We'll do that real estate song, get a lot while you're young. Then you erect something a little later, as time goes by, of course. Remember, he had an apartment in front, she had a flat behind. And you can take out the mortgage with our bankers. We have National City, Mr. Cox, nice to have you aboard. Remember, old bankers never die, they just lose interest, huh? Remember, he went out with his cashier, she turned out to be a teller. I got another one, I ain't sure they're ready yet, though. Think we ought to take a chance, Mr. Lund? All right, she was only the daughter of a banker, but she'd only open her drawers for cash. Well, you know, we've got sort of a high-class crowd tonight. This is sort of a conservative group. And we have the opera set over here, Brother Casey, who contributes so heavily to our different philanthropic things here. In the music... Oh, certainly, huh? That's it. Don't get up. Make them jump. That a boy. Very proud. It's the same way all over. They just sit there. To hell with you. Now, let's get serious for a moment. That's long enough. No, we're going to do a little opera. It's a little thing from the opera. Well, this is dedicated to an oversexed wife. It's called If She Wants to Wriggle, Let Her. This is the quartet from Rigoletto. This is from the Italian disease Gondolia, and I want you to notice... I want you to notice... Boy, you can't throw anything away tonight. This group is really getting them here. And I want you to notice I sing this in 3 movements, up, down, and sideways. That's not easy either. This is for the music lovers, and I think we'll give you a little break here. I am going to sing a free couplet, and if you don't like this, drop dead. Since the words to it are quite passé, I shall make some up, so hear what I have to say. I will sing it high, I will sing it low, 'cause I paid my dues to Patrivo. Wait until I blow my top.
if I see, though it may be falsity. It's a much better number when you swing it just a bit. Ah, just a bit, a bit. Oh, when he hears of this arrangement, Verdi will have a fit. He will have a fit, a fit. He will have a fit. And I don't give a darn. Oh, you laugh. You know why I love everything Italiano? Because when I was only 18, my mother sent me abroad to study, and she taught me so much. Rigoletto, I must go. I have been on long enough, and now I really must be going to a place I know. If I asked you where to go, I'm sure you'd tell me where to. There is where I sure must go. It's a little place not far from here. It's where I've got to go. It's there. I sure must go. Let's go, let's go, let's go. I've got to go. You wonder why I stay out here? It's just because I need the dough. I've said hello, I've done my show, and now my friends, I've got to go, I've got to go. Too late. You made me wait too late. You made me wait too late. I should have left you when I could. Rigoletto, I
Boy, you've been a wonderful audience the last, goodness, hour and a quarter we've been out here. And since we have so many, certainly, I like the V in the dress, too, dear. It's very stunning, too. I mean, I like hers, but, of course, if yours were 2 inches shorter, you'd be barefoot, too, right? You know, I'm going to tell a little story here that we hardly ever tell anymore. This is the one about the fella that comes to work with a big black eye. And his buddy says, George, he says, whatever happened to you? He says, oh, he says, that missus of mine? He says, this kid is uncanny. He says, well, what happened? He says, every time I stay out late at night, she catches me and whambo. He says, well, what do you do? Maybe you don't play it careful enough. He says, are you crazy? He says, any night, he says, I have to stay out late. I don't even drive up to the house. I cut the motor off 4 blocks from the house. I coast all the way to the house. He says, I don't even drive it in the garage. I push it all the way into the garage. He says, when I let the garage door down, I put my foot in the way. It doesn't make a sound. He says, I go in the house, I take my shoes off, I tippy-toe on the carpet all the way upstairs. He says, I go to the bathroom upstairs, way over on the side, way over on the side. I don't make a sound, you know. He says, I take all my clothes off in the hall, I tippy-toe into the bedroom. Just as I sprawl out, she says, George, is that you? Pow! The guy says, boy, you are a jerk. Well, he says, what do you do? Simple. He says, 4 blocks from the house. He says, honk the horn and lift it up a little bit. He says, to hell with that, pushing it in the garage. Drive it in with the radio full blast yet. Let the garage door bang 3 or 4 times. It's all right. He says, you get in the house. He says, leave your shoes on. Don't tippy-toe on the carpet, on the wood, on the edge, all the way like this, you know. You get upstairs right in the center, Make a little racket, it's all right. Flush it 3 or 4 times, it's all right. He says, you go in the bedroom, take your shoe off, heave it against the wall, hum a little, whistle if you want, it's all right. He says, you get all undressed, walk over to her, rip the cover off her, whack her on the fanny, say, okay, baby, how about it? 9 times out of 10, she'll roll over, pretend she's asleep. And every one of you men that applauded is going to be dead later on, too, Mason. She's not going to forgive you for that one, that's for sure. And there's a beautiful song from the Music Man, Till There Was You, that has to do with marriage, and I'd like to do it for you now.
There were bells, wedding bells, but I never heard them ringing. No, I never heard them at all, till there was you. And there was music, and there were heavenly roses. They tell me in sweet fragrant meadows of dawn and dew. there was love all around, but I never heard it singing. No, I never heard it at all, till there was you.
Thank you. We have to take a little break now because some of the ladies have to make the trip over here. And they've been a little afraid to go with me up here, which is sort of silly. I wouldn't have said anything anyway. Look at, we got a running start already over here. Look at this. This one's changed color 5 times already here. That one's got her legs crossed so tight she won't be able to walk when she does get up. So I think for the benefit of the rug and the upholstery, I better get the heck out of here for a couple of minutes. We'll be right back for a second show. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much. Thank you.